Welcome back, guys, to Phoenix Wright, Justice for All, where we've come to investigate after getting Matt Engarde to let us take his case. However, on coming here, Miss Oldbag had 4 Cyclocks and wants a present in exchange, it seems. Just to start it all off, we've come to the scene of the crime, or hopefully we're looking to see the scene of the crime. And instead we bumped into Lotta, who's lost her camera, which probably has some very interesting photos on. But let's get talking to Lotta about what happened. Well, that's the important part indeed. Lotta, please tell me what you know about what happened at the time of the murder. Well, from before the ceremony last night, I was hanging around here in this area. Yeah, actually I was here until around the time Mr. Engarde was arrested. What were you doing here? You sure you went to school, city boy? Wherever Lotta Hart goes, there's a story to be found. A big scoop to be had. A big scoop? I told you before, I'm gonna be the best tabloid photographer the world's ever seen. Reckon, of course, that means I'm always looking for the perfect shot. I wonder what scoop she was after this time. Although, I was also on the lookout for the other stars that were here. So maybe I wasn't here the entire time. Okay, thank you. Reliable as usual. What's your big scoop though? Lotta, are you sure you weren't here the entire time? So you could take a picture for your big scoop? Well, maybe I was. But that's what real journalists do. I got some juicy inside info, so I thought to myself, why not get a picture for proof? What kind of story was it you would hang around here? Had to be. Only 2 though, there is hope. Oops, sorry Mr. Law. Can't be telling you that. Trade secret, you know. Not again. Why does everyone have something to hide? We've been stopped, haven't we? Haha, yeah, take that, Mr. Law. I'm glad someone around here is happy. Miss Lotta and your eye rule smile. Right, what is the first thing they want? You were on the hunt for your big scoop last night. We can always retreat after all. It's just a bunch of tabloid photos. They ain't got nothing to do with the murder. It looks like we have no choice but to remove the Cyclops. Yeah, I guess so. Something about photos then. Well, if you're not going to be helpful either, let's try and gather you the information. Now we've got Carita's hotel room or Engarde's hotel room. Now what's the more interesting one of the two? Scene of the crime, most likely. Which is very beautifully decorated. Mr. Nick, where are we? Baratopia. We're in Mr. Juan Calida's room, Pearls. Mr. Calida? The victim. Which makes this the crime scene too. Oh, it's you! So, what's happened? The kidnapper! Has he contacted you again? Not yet. He probably won't until we win Mr. Engarde's acquittal. You doing okay, pal? Hanging in there? I just want Mayor to be alright. We don't have a lot of time left, but I'm going to help you as much as I can, pal. Can you do that? Even if we want to look around the crime scene? Just this once. Special circumstances, right, pal? I'll even tell you everything I know. But you've got to keep quiet. It's my neck on the line here. Thank you, honestly, because it's Mayor's neck on the line, really, but you know what's more important. Proper police officer, really. Well, that's right. I got you guys a map of the hotel, pal. Here you go, little missy.
Wow, you're giving it to me? Thank you.
Haha, wouldn't want you to get lost in a hotel too big for its own good.
Mr. Nick, I got a map.
That's great, Pearls.
But Mr. Nick, I can't read what it says.
Okay, what does it say then, hotel guide map? Has been added to the court record. What does it say? Map of the Gatewater Hotel around the crime scene. Touch the check buttons for details. Okay, so that's the overall setup of the place. Obviously the lobby can be entered from the other side as well, even though we can't see it. So the boiler hole is the main part, but it's a partial map as well, so you don't know what off-shooting rooms there may be. Just a route to travel by the look of it. Well, thank you for that. What else do you have to tell us? Do you know what was the cause of death? Well, technically, the final autopsy report isn't out yet, but one look at the victim should tell you, pal. It should? Yeah, here's a picture. There's a knife in his chest, but it's like a butter knife, isn't it? Well, it's not exactly the best knife for stabbing, and it's not very in. Must be something else going on there, then. Yeah, pal. That's the murder weapon. So he was stabbed to death. No, single stabbed, looking by bloodstains. And looking at the fingerprints down in the lab right now. There were fingerprints on the knife. Yep. And it looks like they're pretty sure they're Mr. Engarde's prints, pal. That's bad. Really bad. Oh, that's very incriminating, but to be honest, everything there looks rubbish to begin with. And there's other really standout things, like the bottle on the table. Why does that stand out so much? Poisoning? He's definitely taking a drink of it, because you can see it on the side there. The guitar case as well, which is empty. The smashed vase on the floor with flowers on it. Looks interesting to me. Alright then, tell me more. Reason for arrest. Why was Mr. Engarde arrested? Because we had evidence on him.
Evidence?
It looks like the victim, Juan, really put up a big fight. Yeah, one look at the crime scene, you can tell. There's signs of a struggle everywhere. Oh yeah, during the fight his button came off.
Mr. Engarde said something about a button. Something like one of the jamming ninja's buttons got caught in his hakama.
Well, that's not all.
What?
There was a witness, pal.
A witness? Who is it?
That lady, Miss Oldbag.
Please, anyone but her.
The prosecution has plenty of evidence to make a solid case. Not to mention there's something around where the Vic was a little off.
Something that's a little off? As in,
that's for you to figure out, pal.
Alright, let's try to figure it out, Mr. Nick.
Okay, let's try to figure it out, Mrs. Pearl. By examining. Well, let's just examine, first of all, the weird bear-filled state. Well, it's his laptop, actually.
So messy here.
Pearls really likes things neat and tidy, I take it.
There are a lot of electronic things in here that I've never seen before. Hey, Mr. Nick, tell me what they are, pretty please.
Okay, that over there is a watch. You wear it on your wrist.
I know what a watch is.
Oops! For a second there, I forgot I was talking with Pearls, not Maya. Okay, so over there's a watch. What's this stuff here? It's a suitcase. There's so many things in it, I bet it barely closes. There's his clothes, a dryer, an electric shaver, a calculator.
Do all stars pack too much stuff like Mr. Creeder?
Maybe. What's over here? There are all sorts of things in this refrigerator. Is that a rice cooker? No, it's a drinks dispenser, possibly.
The carrot juice bottle and the tomato juice bottle are both empty.
Empty? It's too much of a hassle to throw them away, I guess. They're all vegetable juices. I guess he must have been a real health nut.
Oh! There's a beet, some ketchup, and a bottle of strawberry jam, too.
Maybe red was his favorite color. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. We'll find out. Let's actually look at the bears, then.
Wow! There are a lot of bears!
Alarm clock ones, collector's editions, stuffed teddies, plastic models. It's pretty overwhelming. Is there a kind of bear he doesn't have? And takes from place to place?
There's even a few in the trash can.
Yeah. I get the feeling maybe the guy didn't really like bears. Poor teddies. Indeed. It's hard to bear with all these problems. Growl! Oh, he's infected your brain! I don't think I want to bear with the trauma the last case caused me. You've been infected!
What's wrong, Mr. Nick?
He's been infected! Pearl, put him out of his misery now! There's even bears on his bed. Right, we've got radio. We've got juice and more juice. How did the vase get on the floor but not the juice? That's what I'm wondering. Looks like Mr. Creeder had dinner last night.
This bottle is tomato juice.
He had a lot of food at the award show last night. But I wonder if the stars had gone on stage after only eating a meager meal like this. Maybe. Well, I'm interested in this over here, to be honest. It's a beautiful wine glass, and there's tomato juice in it.
Ew, tomato juice. I don't really like it much.
There's a bottle of it on the table over there. That's probably where this came from.
Doesn't it seem weird?
What seems weird?
I mean, everything else is scattered all over the floor.
She's right. The flower vase was broken and the makeup is strewn everywhere.
Why is this glass the only thing that's still right?
It's got to be one of the easier things to knock over as well. You could easily see it was well out of whack of what was going on there. So found next to the victim, it's filled with tomato juice, no sign it's been drank. Well, we got the guitar case here, it's going to be interesting too. This is a guitar case, I guess. A little beat up, but still usable.
That's strange, the guitar is not here.
Maybe you forgot to bring it to the show. No.
Mystic Mayor. She said the bright red guitar was the Jammin' Ninja's signature item.
Indeed. Well, I just thought it's like his weapon as well, to be honest. That's true. Huh? This guitar case is wet, but it's only wet on the top of the lid.
Yeah, there's no water inside the case. This is water, isn't it?
No, it looks like blood. Looks like blood to me. It's red, but it could be tomato juice too. There is some water, but only on top of the lid. It looks, well, it could just be water, I guess. But where's it come from? That's the point. Rolls of cosmetics are scattered all over the floor. This is probably where Mr. Creeder fought his assailant.
What are these bits of glass from?
Flower vase, maybe? There are flowers on the floor, but I don't know what they are.
You don't know much about flowers, do you, Mr. Nick?
No, I don't. Is that a bear, or is that something else? Well, it's not examinable, so it doesn't matter either way. And there's the murdered chair, we could call it that. Right, if you're asking me what's out of place, can I then present you what I think's out of place? So about this wine glass. Ah, so you noticed it, pal. The whole crime scene was a mess, but this glass was the only thing that was untouched. You noticed that too, Detective Gumshoe? No, actually. Miss Von Karma noticed it first. Yeah, Pills noticed it before me too. Hey, wait a minute. So does that mean Miss Von Karma's here at the hotel? Yeah, she's around. Man, you're gonna be in so much trouble, pal. Especially if she catches you in here. Well, you can bet the instant I see her, I'll be running the 1,000-meter dash. I'm being called.
What's that beeping noise, Mr. Nick?
I've heard this sound somewhere before. It's Miss Von Karma. No, I'm not being called. No, it's the alarm. She's coming.
Huh?
For some reason, whenever I hear that sound, she pops out of nowhere and whips me.
Come to think of it, that's exactly what happened the last time.
Sorry, I've got to make myself scarce. Later, pal. Now! And she's... Wow, one hit KO.
At last, you reveal your true nature, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Oh, would it be too much to ask for you to be nice to me for a change?
So you're the type to steal information from pitifully hopeless detectives. That's very dishonorable of you.
Ow!
Hey, don't you run away, Scruffy McTrenchcoat.
Ah.
I didn't think the detectives of this country could be this pitiful.
Ah!
Detective, come over here for a second.
I don't think... Actually, being closer might help.
Yow!
Oh, Gumshoe. Well, at least his leather coat's nice and thick, hopefully. You really should get put in prison, because a whip's a very easily killing weapon. It's not good.
You feel better knowing at least you were man enough to face your punishment.
He was so scared, he just froze up on the spot.
Mr. Phoenix Wright. You have soiled my perfect prosecution record.
Twice.
I'll never forget that. This time, victory is mine.
Victory is yours? Is that all this means to you?
What? Come, Scruffy. The investigation briefing is about to begin.
Yes, sir.
This isn't over yet. I swear on my family's honor.
Your family has none, sadly. Just create your own, please. Ow, what did she throw at me now? What is this? Well, I guess this means I've got to get back to the precinct now, pal. If you ever need me, come down to the Criminal Affairs Department, alright? And if you can, try not to let Miss Von Karma see you. Okay, that's cool, but what was that? It's on the floor, it's on the table. Floor table. Table floor? Depends if you stand on it or not, I guess.
Mr. Nick, what's this piece of paper?
It's called an autograph.
Autograph?
The paper's got Mr. Karida's name written on it, so it's his autograph.
I can't read it all. To be honest, I've never seen writing that looks like this.
Ah, it's a special way of writing called cursive. Look here, see how it says, "To my dearest Wendy," in more normal letters here?
This sloppy, unreadable writing is crazy and cruel to give this to someone.
Hold on. Really? Okay. Wendy. I've heard that name somewhere before. Oh, back. Might be her. And it might be what we need to open her up a little bit. Right, so that said, we could either examine more in this room, we can move back to the hallway, which Lotta's waiting and has Cyclops too, joy. But we are right next to Engarde's hotel room as well. Which, fortunately for our case, has lots of stabby things. Always a good thing to have with you.
Where are we?
We're in Mr. Matt Engarde's dressing room. This is our client's room. May I help you with something? We're...
You're Mr. Engarde's lawyer, correct? I gathered as much. I also looked for lawyers on my end, but to no avail.
How did you know I'm his lawyer?
You were just saying that he is your client. In a situation like this, the only person who would use such a word would be his lawyer. Wow. It's a simple deduction, really. The trial is tomorrow, and Mr. Engarde's situation is looking rather grim. So you came here, want to stop your mad dash to find clues to build his case, correct?
Well, you're not totally right, but you're not totally off either.
It's really not the time to be showing off, Mr. Nick. I am Adrian Andrews. I hate to waste time, so let's get down to business. Alright.
She may be of small stature, but appearances can be deceiving. She might kill me! Well, should we talk or examine? About the night of the murder.
I assume the first thing you need to know is what everyone was doing that night, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Then I will tell you. For the award ceremony, I had dinner with Mr. Engarde. In his very room, I might add.
Dinner? What did you eat?
I told you, I hate to waste time with trifling details. If you took a look at the table yourself, you wouldn't need to ask me.
I bet she's a lot of fun at parties.
When the award show was starting, I headed for Wright Hall.
I hate that word. And after the show ended, you came back to this room?
No, I had some small errands to run. I helped with the preparations in the lobby.
Oh. Preparations for the post-ceremony show, I guess?
When it was time for the post-ceremony show, I came back to call for Mr. Engarde. After that, I went to visit Mr. Karida.
And that's when you found his body, isn't it? Oh, you were the discoverer.
You really held strong for everything.
Yeah, she does seem to be mentally tough as nails. Right, what about your relation to Engarde, and more to the point to Karida as well, seeming you were going over to him? So, about you and...
Stop right there. You aren't seriously about to ask how Mr. Engarde and I are related, are you?
Sorry?
I had no idea how he could choose you as his lawyer.
Why did she have to go and say something like that?
Mr. Nick, calm down and hang in there. I'll give you a shoulder rub to relieve your stress later, alright? I already gave you my name earlier, but I'll add that I'm Mr. Engarde's manager.
His manager? Speaking of managers, did the victim, Mr. Karida, have one?
No, he did not.
He didn't?
Global Studios has a very different policy from Worldwide Studios, and that Worldwide Studios does not assign individual managers to their stars.
I see.
This industry is very ruthless and unforgiving. Actually, you look quite ruthless and unforgiving yourself to your poor partner. Dragging a little girl like her to places like this? Honestly. You're wrong! I'm doing this to help Mystic Mayor!
Pearls, calm down and hang in there. I'll buy you a juice later, alright? Right, so... We have things to examine, things to do, including what did they eat last night? There's a giant bone sitting on the plate.
I don't really like meat.
There's something weird about this plate. Oh? I just wish I could put my finger on what it is. It's missing a knife. Well, I was just examining to figure out what they ate, considering it came from conversation, but it really was pointing me towards something. This plate is missing a knife, which means that probably the knife came from this room. And maybe a reason why the fingerprints are on it. So hopefully that's a way out, or a way to incriminate us further, depending on how it's used in court. In Phoenix Wright, Justice for All. Join me next time as we continue our investigation. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.